Basically, every Slowdive song ranked. We're going to be skipping the B-sides, the demos, the remixes, all of that. We're going to get right into it. I'm going to explain the tiers real quick. So starting from the bottom, Nah tier is just, I think it's just bad. Like, I wouldn't listen to it, straight up. I don't know, Chief. Good, usually, like, it sounds good. It can sound good. I just think there's something, like, creatively that, or like musically, just wrong with the song that I'm like, I can't really go with this. Aight is, of course, it's aight. It's neither good nor bad. Very nice, Caesar Cham. If you know, you know. Obviously, it's very good. And then we get into slightly better, amazing. Shout out Nick 830. And then, to me, the S tiers, essentially, the S tier songs. Slowdive, for me, if you've heard enough, I feel like a lot of their songs are very, like, transportive, and it kind of is almost like psychedelic, feel to it. It just kind of creates this own, like, world. It's like oddly beautiful, haunting, dreamy, but all the good associations with those words. So we're gonna start from most recent and go back to oldest, starting with Shanty. I think is, what is this? Everything is Alive, 2023. Shanty's very nice. I'm not gonna say it like that every time. I think that would get tired real quick. I've listened to Everything is Alive the least, but I think it is very consistent. I think it has a lot of good qualities. There's some things we'll get to. I mean, most of these, I don't remember a lot of these. They kind of just bleed together in a way. I feel like I get that with, we'll get to it, they're self-titled. Like, it's good music, Alive Here. I'm not as high on Andalusia Plays. But then once we get into, we'll be back here. I'm kind of moving through these. I don't want these to be a super long video. Skin in the Game. But I think this is where we get to amazing tier. I might order these at the end, but for right now, we're kind of speeding through this. But what's next? We're going into self-titled. Slow-mo, I think, is amazing. Star Roving, slightly weaker, but good. Don't know why. I don't want to give, like, obviously I'm not giving an in-depth kind of description of all these tracks, because that would take too much time. But this, Don't Know Why, is like kind of a return to form in a way. Like, these are more atmospheric in a way, but Don't Know Why is a little more shoegazy, which is what I know them for, and which is what I like them for. They can definitely, like, they can, you know, I mean, you'll get, it was this album, like, a lot of these songs and Everything is Alive is more like reverb heavy and kind of spacious in a way. It's a little more atmospheric in that sense, as opposed to, like, drowned out, kind of like layered. Sugar for the Pill, it's very nice. I know a lot of people love this song. I think it's just good. I'm not crazy about it, but it's got a nice tone. I like the guitar tones. It's very chill. Everyone Knows. I think we're back, though. amazing. No Longer Making Time. Goes there. Go Get It, I think is... I kind of think the last two songs are the weakest. They're not like bad necessarily, it's just they kind of drag on, especially with Falling Ashes. Go Get It is kind of weird to me. But overall, solid. This kind of will tell you also how I feel about the albums in particular. But we're gonna go. We've got. What do we have next? Is Pygmalion. They're critically weakest. Like they're critically, from a critical standpoint, they're weakest. I think it's fine. I enjoy it a lot. Rudy. It's top of very nice. It's good. It's atmospheric, and it ticks the boxes, but it's just a little long. And I don't think it's, oh, your attention span's just cooked. I don't think it's that. I just think that I can rock with like ambient tracks, but it has to be stimulating enough, but it can't be there can't be too much going on, or else I feel like we gotta tone it down in a way. It's a balance. I think Crazy For You is next. I'm gonna go top of amazing. I don't think where do we go next? Trelisaze. Oh, Miranda. This one is... I think this is our first... Like, I have to be critical about this. And, like, would I put everything here, like, good? To me, full stop, everything that Slowdive has put out is some level of good. But I don't want to just glaze this band for forever and ever. So I got to be kind of critical. Miranda... It's cool, it's hypnotic. I like what they did with it, but I don't know if I'm returning to it that much. Trelisaze. I think this is like the first I don't like that chunky tick sound that they have. It just gets like annoying. When I was listening to it, I thought we had a couple good tracks, and then I was like, oh, we might be on a run here. And then they shut that up real quick. But I don't think, like, it's for someone. I'm sure someone likes it. I just can't get past the ticking. It doesn't really sound good, in my opinion. Okay. Cello is next. And what I'm going to do is... gonna add a row above. Surprise. Cello tier. And cello is gonna go right in there. I think roughly the song is actually, like, I like it better than these songs probably. But it's only a 90-second cello interlude, so I don't think it's fair to rank it as a song. Next we have Jay's Heaven, which is I'm gonna put it at top of I. I'll probably Visions of LA. I don't remember this one that well. But I think this is I2. I think J7. Yeah, that might be better. Honestly, is whatever. Blue Skied, Unclear. This is probably, if anything, I mean, it's probably the best song on the album. almost, it's just like, I've listened to Crazy For You more, but that's because I kind of forgot about this one, and that sounds like a backhanded compliment, but Blue Sky on Clear is, I need to give it the respect it deserves. It's one of their better songs. All of Us, I think, is top of 8. It's pretty good. But yeah, Blue Sky on Clear is like kind of that. It leans more in the like ethereal, with like vocals, and it kind of has that like ascension feel. You're floating, levitating, ascending. I kind of already said that, but let's move on before I say any more things. Before I say something, and confuse myself even more. We'll go. It's Souvlaki. Yeah, Souvlaki. I've known this one the most, so I've listened to this one for over a year probably. When I discovered it, and what an album! I mean, it's like one of my favorites. Allison, the ending is what like really like, carries this. I still think the song is really good. It's still in Where Am I tier, but the ending is what like transcend it. Not to be too pretentious, but it's like really, it's the most enjoyable part. Those last like 40 seconds. Machine Gun, I don't think is quite as good. I'm gonna say top of very nice. It's not quite amazing, but it is definitely worth listening to. 40 Days. What a song. I like wasn't crazy on this at first, but I got used to like the vocals were tripping me up a little bit, but you kind of get into it, and then it's just amazing. Better than Allison for sure. It's amazing. Well, it's more than that actually. When that guitar comes in, it's just, this is something else. You feel like Tobey Maguire. What's next? Sing. Sing takes a little bit to cook. Takes a little bit of time to cook. But when it kind of cooks, I'm going to put it... I feel like I gotta put it... It'll be bottom of amazing. I think once it's going, it's like Slowdive at its best. Souvlaki Space Station, such an interesting track. Honestly, it's like it kind of does a lot. I like how it kind of builds. There's a little bit of world building, like space station, so it's very spacey, very cosmic in a way. It's definitely amazing. I don't know if I prefer to sing. No, I think this is a good spot. Here She Comes. Here She Comes is very nice. I just like the, it kind of, we talk about like space and cosmic. This is like the busyness of space, like your ship and like, the lights blinking, and it's very like bright and busy, right? Blinking kind of deal. I don't know what I'm saying. Here She Comes is kind of the more like cold, desolate part of space, which I like. The guitar is very nice. This album does a lot of like mixing. Well, not like how the songs are mixed, but you get like some heavier shoegazier, not heavier shoegaze, but like you get a little more layered, a little more dense, I guess. moments, but you also get some stuff we'll get to later. Like, they're not afraid to keep it acoustic, keep it more acoustic. I don't need to talk about that. When the Sun Hits is probably top 3 Slowdive song. I wouldn't say like there's not much. I think I prefer 40 Days over it. Because the small minor issues I have with When the Sun Hits, I have a little bit less. And you're like, well, it's like top tier. I'm willing to, like, they're so incredibly minor that if I told you, you're like, okay, you're just nitpicking, and it doesn't even matter. Like, if you said to me, if you're like, you can only listen to these songs for the rest of your life, I'd be totally okay. Like, it doesn't matter. Altogether, this one, top of alright. I don't like the yeah. Like, I got used to it. But like, this was always a weak song for me. Even in like listening to the album altogether, like, I like the instrumentals, but there were some moments that always was like, okay, I'm not feeling that one that much. Melon Yellow, very nice. I know people dog on this one, but I like it. I like how it feels like time's dilating, like speeding up, slowing down. You got some like reverb, echoey kind of business going on, and it's definitely underrated. I see why people don't like it, but I always appreciate it. Dagger, I would put it in Where Am I tier, but I don't think it's like quite as good. I got a text from someone. Where were we? So I will say, Sleep, I know I said I wasn't doing demos, but I have heard Sleep. I know it's one of their like unreleased songs. People love it. It's amazing. Find it, listen to it wherever. It's kind of simple, but it's like Slowdive at its most raw, and it's not raw, but like its most natural. It just feels like a Slowdive song straight through and through. It's really short and really sweet, nice and vibey. And finally, we're ending with what is it? This is Just for a Day, I think. I listened to this for the first time a few days ago, and that's kind of what inspired this, so I had to listen to everything else. So if everything seems jumbled, this was kind of a big reason for thrusting everything. But it starts with Golden Hair? No, it starts with Spanish Air. Spanish Air. Same thing with like Allison. So you'll be able to tell what my favorite album is pretty soon here. Spanish Air kind of has the same thing as Allison, like I was saying. Starts really nice, but they just like, they hit that vibe and they just milk it. The one thing I will say about Just for a Day and Slowdive in general, they kind of spam the fade out. They're like, we don't know how to end our songs, but we're just gonna fade out. I don't hate it. I mean, sometimes it works. Other times it's like, well, just hit it with a fade out. Still slaps though. Celia's Dream, I think, is amazing. I don't Catch the Breeze. We'll kind of breeze through these. But all of these are like, I mean, I won't spoil it actually. Ballad of Sister Sue, Goated, Eric's Song is another, like, it's a instrumental track. The only thing I think sometimes, like, the second half feels a little longer than it should be, but should it go amazing? Yeah, sure, why not? Waves, Brighter, The Sad Man, and Primal. These are like, listen, okay, if you learned one thing from this video, or if you take one thing from this video, listen to Just for a Day, please. Like, do yourself a favor. I mean, it's my favorite album from them. But yeah, I'll kind of leave it at that. I don't think there's anything else I need to say, but judging from that, you can kind of tell. Just for a Day, Moggs, Souvlaki, which then is followed by probably self-titled in third place. And then in fourth, we have Everything Is Alive. And then in fifth, we just have Inconsistency, but more sucky than lucky, is Pygmalion. So there it is. That's it. I'll leave it at that. You guys have a wonderful night. Take care now.